Good morning. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Welcome to the Ninja Habits Huddle. Hope you guys are having a great week. We are officially in the middle of the week. We're going to go through our habits today. And then at the end, we are going to be focusing the last 10 minutes on the 50 live interviews, talking more about those and how you can get those in, and just some ways to get over that hump if that's one of the things that you are having trouble with getting completed. So, just to remind us of what our daily habits are, obviously we start with gratitudes and affirmations. Then we're showing up, we're planning our day, being on purpose, being intentional. We're going to write our 2 note cards, and then we're going to focus on our hot and warm list. So let's get started. We got people coming in here. Share with us in the chat, or feel free to unmute yourself. What are you grateful for today? What are you grateful for today? I will start with, I am grateful. I have an interview today for our, I've been working on getting my minority business certification with the state of Ohio. And so I had the interview today for that. And this is a process I've been working on for probably close to 2 years. No joke. So the lady told me if the interview goes well, which I assume it will, that I should have my certification within the next week. So I'm super excited about that. Thank you. Yeah, it's a lot. Good morning. We are snowed in Alabama. Oh my goodness. Are you grateful for that today, Rolanda?
No, we can't go anywhere. We're
Aw,
grateful to be up this morning, and I'm grateful to see the snow.
you guys don't get snow very often, right?
No, so when it snows here, so I'm originally from Detroit, Michigan, but when it snows in Alabama, they shut the roads down, they shut down the stores. You can't go anywhere or do anything. They don't have salt like they have in the city, and they'll put dirt on the bridges, but it's still when it ice up, it's not
Yeah.
working.
Wow. Well, I guess stay safe, stay home, enjoy working from home today. Maybe you can get caught up on some things that you haven't had time to get to.
Yeah, that's what I did yesterday. I set up my Lofty. I changed my welcome email for new buyers. I'm gonna do my seller one today.
Nice. I love that. We use Lofty as well, so very familiar with that. Shannon's thankful for heat. I am too, Shannon, but my gosh, it was burning me up. I just had to turn mine down. I guess it's just working overtime, you know? Um, Thanks, Carla. Yeah, it is exciting. Brent, that's awesome. Congrats. It snowed in Florida yesterday. What? Not by you. Crazy. I'm grateful Alabama got snow and not Toronto. Yeah, that's one thing to be grateful for. We're starting to get snow now, even when they don't say we're getting snow. It's like, we're like, oh, it was supposed to snow today? That's what it's like. What else are you guys grateful for this morning? I'm also grateful it's getting lighter out in the mornings and staying, we're getting more daylight. I'm very grateful for that. It snowed in Destin, really? Wow. I guess everybody's getting a taste of that snow weather this year. I'm grateful for the message in my daily devotional today. Oh, was it just hitting home today? Love it. It's nice when that happens. Awesome. Well, as we're going to kind of fly through these today. Um, let's get into those affirmations. Shannon, a friend of mine just got licensed in North Carolina and he has his first listing appointment today. I'm excited for him, and we're walking through the listing consult at 9 a.m. I love that, Shannon. What a ninja thing to do. You're paying it forward, you're giving without expecting anything in return. I love that. If it's not for those, if it wasn't for those people helping me when I got started, I probably wouldn't have made it. It was those people that poured into me that helped. Same. He is in a beach market and is finding the agents are very part-time. Interesting. Is he going to be full-time?
Yes, so yes, he's younger and right now has 15 short-term rentals. A
Mm-hmm.
couple are his, and then he co-hosts for other people. And he just left his W-2 job to get licensed. And yeah, and he actually he used to live here in Columbus, and we worked at the title company together. We went to college together and then both worked doing marketing at the title and company.
I love that.
So I'm really excited for him. But you know how big of a change that is to leave a W-2,
Mm-hmm.
after 25 years. It's a big change.
That is that's a real big change. But it's very rewarding once you get the hang of it. If you're just now joining us today, um, we are working on our affirmations. And then we are also going to be talking a little bit here in just a few about the 50 live interviews, which is one of the Ninja weekly habits. Hoping you leave today with a new vigor to get those done, or at least some ideas on how to do that. So we're over 2 weeks now of writing these affirmations. Is anybody noticing a difference in their mindset around their affirmation? Also, sometimes it's not uncommon to notice that there is some friction around your affirmation. Sometimes when we get to this stage, we start to say, man, there's that doubt that tries to creep in, right? And say, man, not really seeing any movement with this. And I would encourage you, that's the time that you keep on going, right? All right. I know if I'm almost done, you guys are probably almost done too, because I feel like I'm the slower one in the bunch. But if you could just let me know that you're done once you get those written out. Awesome. And as you're finishing that up, move right into planning your day. Um, what are you going to prioritize today? What is one thing you're going to get done for sure today? If you want to share that, you can. If it's something you want to be held accountable for, share it in the chat. I told you guys yesterday that I had to go back to the previous day to see what I needed to get done because I didn't get to things. And I was able to check quite a few of those things off, but I still have some things that are kind of out there that I need to finish up today. So that's good. Print my pre-listing package and deliver it. Love that, Mike. That is a great thing to take action on today and get completed. Anyone else have any thing that they are definitely going to accomplish today that they want to share? Or maybe you're time blocking some time to get some things done today. Call expired, show houses, and write a contract. That sounds like an amazing day. Carrie, you're going to kill it today. Time blocking to explore Canva for listing presentations. Oh, Jody, I love Canva. That's your plan. I love that plan. There is some great, if you've never been to Etsy and you're familiar with Canva, you have Canva, there are some great downloads on Etsy. And I notice a lot of them are on sale, but you can just search real estate listing presentation and you could probably find hundreds of templates that people have designed that you could literally, they share them. You pay like a one-time fee and they share them with you and you can download them in your Canva and you can edit them. So they're pretty cool. You're welcome. Yeah, and they're really relatively inexpensive. I think I just bought a huge package. It's not, I don't think it has a listing presentation in it, but I'm still going through it. It literally had 35,000 different templates in it that are real estate related. And I think it was like on sale for like $39 or something. I was like, that's worth it. But you can buy individual ones too for like $5, $7, depending on, you know, what you're looking for. But maybe that'll help you use that time a little more wisely today. So let's move on to writing our note cards. Anybody get any feedback on their note cards? I have started to get some feedback on mine. And it's been really, really cool to hear. Please share if you think it's worth it. Etsy listing. You mean like listing your things that you've created on Etsy? If that's what you're asking, Rachel, I've never tried that. I've never done it. Oh, the template you bought. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I will. I mean, I would say so far, yeah, it's already been worth it. It had a lot. Like, I know I'm not going to use everything that's in there, but I figured for the price, you know, even if I just use like a third of it, it was worth it because it's just less time that I have to spend doing things. And the other thing I would say too with Canva is if you don't have the paid version, get the paid version because you can put your brand, your company brand in there or like your own brand. And when you're on a template, you can literally just click a button and it automatically will brand it to your colors that you've picked and things like that. So it kind of makes it a little faster to put things together. I got a very sweet text message yesterday from a person I sent a note card to last week. Yes, I did too. It's, you know, you make people feel good when you send that personal note. It's just the extra thing. You can tell people, hey, thanks so much. I really appreciate you. But when you put it in writing, it's something they can go back to over and over again. And I have every note card that anybody sent me, I keep them. I have a box of them in my office and I keep them. So, Rachel, yes, the paid version is the best. Love the background remover. Yeah, the background remover is great. I'm learning. I actually want to take a Canva class. It's on my list of things to do this year. I really want to dig deeper into getting better at doing Canva, and creating templates so that our people in the office can easily, my goal with our templates is to brand some of the templates to make them shareable so that the agents in our office can use those templates for their own things. So it's pretty cool. Awesome. Who are you writing your note cards to today? I don't know about you guys, but there's just been a lot of heartache around. A lot of people that I know are going through a lot of things, losing people, bad, diagnoses. Just seems like there's been a lot of bad news happening in my sphere lately. And I'm trying to, trying to let them know I care and that I'm there. I'll wait for this story for the 50 live interviews because I think that it's one of those things that goes right in line with that. And I don't mean to rush you guys, but we're going to move on to review hot and warm list today. Who do you need to talk to? I have, and this is, this kind of will segue right into those 50 interviews because as you have those conversations, that will lead you to move people into those lists. And I had a conversation yesterday, and I'll use this story to kind of transition us into the 50 live interviews while you guys are finishing up your note cards wherever you're at. So I go get a massage every month from the same lady every month. And it's the perfect time to forward because we're both in there by ourselves. And, I'm a chit chatter when it comes to situations. I'm rarely quiet when I get my massages. I like to get to know people. But I've been going to her for probably 6 years now. And, when you go into a room and the energy is off or something's different. And I walked in yesterday and I knew, I was like, something's off. I just know it. And normally when it's off, she's very open to talking about it, but she wasn't today. So I was like, okay, or yesterday. So I'm like, I'm going to go with this, So we just kind of had a little bit of conversation. I let the room be quiet because I could just sense that she just wasn't in that mood. So, I thought, well, when I'm done, I'm going to dig a little deeper. So I get done. If you haven't had a massage, normally they walk out, you get dressed, and then they come back. And she's getting ready for the next person. And she goes, I hope that you can be flexible with me this year. And I was like, oh, absolutely. I said, what's going on? Because I can tell something's different about you today. And something's heavy on your heart. And she proceeded to tell me that her husband's been diagnosed with cancer. I'm getting emotional, but we cried together. And it was tough. It was tough. I don't think that she had talked to anyone about it yet. She kind of was keeping it close to the chest. And this has just all happened in the last week. And, I thought about it. I was talking to my husband on the way home. And I was telling him about it. And I was like, I didn't go to my massage today thinking that was going to be the conversation that we were going to have. But I was able to help her because I think that I don't think her house is in a survivorship deed, Shannon. Thank you. And so I'm going to help her with whatever she needs to do to prepare. And, I told her, I said, look, we're not saying that's what's going to happen, but regardless of what the outcome is, that is something you should already have. Your home should be in a survivorship deed situation. So I was able to add her some value. She has not been on my warm and hot list because there was no reason to have her, but she is now going to be on that list because unfortunately, if something happens to him, she's probably going to have to sell her home. And she brought that up to me. And so, in the heat of that moment, that was an opportunity for me to to be there. Now, was that my first conversation with her? Absolutely not, right? We've been having conversations for years. So that's not something that, you expect the first conversation that you have with someone. But that's the beauty of getting to know someone, because I'm sure people go into her, to get a massage with her all the time and probably never know anything about her. They just come in, get their massage and leave. And so, yeah. And Missy, I was like, oh, Missy is the Ford Queen. She is the Ford Queen. But we're going to dive right into that now. So the heart of the 50 interviews are conversations. That's all. It's just conversations. And that's why I like to call them 50 live conversations, because I feel like the word interview sometimes has that connotation that we're just asking questions. But I do like the fact of the interview, because what is a conversation? It's asking a question. And that's what an interview is. It just starts with asking a question, listening, and then formulating your next question off of what they say, instead of trying to, I'll send you guys a podcast that I listened to that really reiterated some of this for me with the Ninja Selling. You guys ever been in the conversation where you say, hey, so what are your plans this summer? And they're like, I'm going to Hawaii. And then you hear people say, and I'm guilty of this too, oh, I've never been to Hawaii. I've always wanted to go. And then they kind of start bringing it back to them and what they know. Or they say, maybe you have been to Hawaii and you say, oh yeah, when I went there, we did this, we did that, we did this, we did that. And then you leave that conversation thinking, oh, I had a conversation, but really you didn't have a conversation. You just shared information based on what they brought up, right? And it should really look more like, hey, what are your plans? And I'm going to Hawaii. Great. What are you guys planning to do there? Why Hawaii? That is more, if you think of like the Barbara Walters or these famous people who interview people, think of Oprah, think of people that, sit across from people and they ask them questions. They don't talk about themselves. They really dig more into what that person is bringing to the table, what is going on with them. And so that's the first thing, is reframing how we start these conversations and what we're saying. Mastering the art of Ford. And if you don't know what Ford is an acronym. It stands for Family, Occupation, Recreation, and Dreams. And it is the art of small talk. It is learning how to talk to people and get to know things about them quickly, right? And what's cool is, as you talk to people and get them talking about themselves, there's a point it becomes uncomfortable. And a good person, which most people are going to say, enough about me. Like, what about you? What's going on with you today? Right? And that's the beauty of these conversations, is they're conversation starters, getting to know you conversations, but they do lead into people wanting to get to know you too. And that's part of the conversation. Who counts with this 50 live interviews? Everyone counts. Everyone you talk to counts. You don't have to be their best friend, but you do have to care, right? You don't have to get to know them to the point that you guys are talking every day and texting every day. And that could happen, and it does. You definitely meet friends in this business that become lifelong friends, and that's awesome. But that's not what has to happen for you to be successful with your 50 live interviews. Also, it doesn't have to be different people every week. So if you visit the same places, you go to the same place, like me, I go to the same massage lady every month. I go to the same chiropractor. I go to the same, I like the certain coffee shops, and you might go to the same places to get the same things, right? Get to know the people that are behind that counter. Start having a conversation with them. Challenge yourself every time you go in to learn something new about them. And I think that you can be surprised what that can turn into. When you go to the bank, go in, talk to the teller. Missy and I have a really great friend at our bank, because I don't know how that happened. I think I met her for an appointment to set up some accounts, and then we just all hit it off. And now I literally text her. She texted me the other day and I text her back, and we, how's it going? What's going on? You know what I mean? Like, how many of you have your banker's cell phone number? And I guarantee she thinks about us in the real estate space. I I love what they said on the podcast. They said every person knows 4 opportunities to refer over a 12-month time period. So when you think about these conversations you're having every week, every person you're talking to, they're going to have 4 opportunities to refer over the next year. And 2 of those can turn into business, or likely to turn into some type of business. Real estate's all around us all the time. It's not something that we're not trying to sell some widget that only works in a certain area, or, only during my husband was telling me hunting season's almost over and he hasn't been out yet, but once. And, once that's over, it's over, right? Real estate's always around. There's always things happening and moving in that space. And then I'm going to challenge you to look at a way to get them from conversation into flow. And flow is something that we talk about in Ninja, where you are staying in contact with people. You have a newsletter you're sending out, or you have items of value that you're sending out to them. You are reaching out to them, you're writing note cards to them, right? They're in the fold is what I say, like they are part of it. So how can you take a conversation? Now, you might not want to do this the first time, unless it goes that way, but how do you take a conversation from just a conversation to folding them in? And there's an art to that, and it's understanding how to present that opportunity to them. And usually what happens is if it turns into a conversation about real estate, which these live interviews they shouldn't be turning into just about real estate. These are actually just real conversations you're just having. But when it does turn that way, to know that you have some tools in your toolbox that can help people when you do hear those change words come up, right? Like, hey, we are looking to move. So for example, my massage lady, I didn't say anything in that moment because it was a tender moment and it just wasn't the right time. But now that she's had a chance to digest, she mentioned, I might just take one of those offers that people send in the mail. And I'm thinking in my head, no, you're not. No, you're not. But I didn't say that. So what I'll do is I'll come back around as I'm helping her with this, helping her get her deeds straightened out. And I'm going to say, you mentioned taking one of those offers. Can I ask that you talk to me before you take any of those? Because I really want to give you value and make sure that you're not undervaluing your property, right? That's how you get them in the fold. It starts awakening that I don't want to do that. I want to get as much out of this as I can. Absolutely you do. I can help you do that. You don't have to, the pressures of what you're going through does not have to mean that you have to leave money on the table, right? So just learning how to speak to the fear of people and what their thoughts are, like seeing that. And that takes a little bit of practice. So get out of the office, guys. Get away from your desk, unless you're snowed in Alabama. You might not be able to do that. But make it a goal to talk to 10 people today. Have 10 conversations today. Everyone you talk to is included. Your real estate reviews, your customer service calls, your vendors, your coffee shop, your social events, your school teachers, waiting in lines, your nail tech, hairstylist. I'm closing a house with my hairstylist here in a couple weeks. So nobody's off the table. Even the realtors that you're talking to about the property. Hey, realtors can be a great source of referrals. I'm not saying you should have every person on that list be a realtor, but I have some great relationships with some realtors. It's a good thing, right? It's a good thing. I wish we had more time to talk about this one because I actually really love this one. And the last thing I'm going to leave you with today with that is, invite a friend outside of that, but you are done for the day. But the other thing I would say is if you don't have a way to record them, because it's hard to do this if you don't record it, because you start to lose track. Even if you just open your notes app and just quickly put a name, bank, kid, name, blah, blah, blah. Like just a way to jot it down in the moment, like right after it happens. Get into the habit of doing that. If your CRM has it where you can pull it up and do it right on your phone, you can. But some of these people you're not going to have a phone number or an email for, and that's okay. That still counts, but just get it into your notes app. And then the next time you talk to them, add to it. Just make a notes app that says 50 conversations or whatever, and literally just start putting the name, where you talk to them, the day, and maybe one tidbit of information. And maybe that'll help you. If you're a writer, put a little the pad of paper in your car, write it down every time. I know Ninja has theirs too that you can use and print off. I'm just not great at that. I always lose papers, so I have to put it in my phone. Literally, after you talk to them, say, that's one, keep count. You'll be amazed at how many you speak with each day. Yes. Notes app, add them. Yes, Missy, absolutely. And Missy's really great at this. She can make a friend anywhere at any time. I feel like you could just follow her around for a day if you're local, and she would show you how to talk to people. She's amazing at it. But that is it for today, guys. So hopefully, we're week 3, and this is the third weekly habit that we have gotten through. The next one is database updates, which kind of goes right in line with what we just talked about. You're just basically going to take them from that notes app and get them into your database. But we're going to go a little bit more deeper into that next week. Maybe we can share ways that you guys are doing well in that department. But you can mark this off your list for the day. You've got this done. Make those conversations a priority starting today if you haven't. And I would love to hear more about that tomorrow and moving into next week of the conversations that you guys are having. So thanks for showing up for yourself today, guys. Thanks for being here. Thanks for sharing. Have a great one. Have a great rest of your Ninja day. Bye, everybody. You're very welcome.